everyone, welcome to another live lesson with me, Anna English, here on English Like a Native. Today we are looking at slang words beginning with the letter T. T. So there are many words on this list, so without further ado, I'm going to get straight on in and start with the very first slang word beginning with T, which we commonly use, and that is the word tad. So if you don't remember any other words that I teach you today, remember this one. Tad. Tad. Tad means a little, a small amount. If I ask you, do you take sugar with your tea? You might say, a tad. If I ask you, are you cold? And you're a little bit cold, you could say, I'm a tad cold. So here the example sentence I've given is, the lad was a tad embarrassed about was a tad embarrassed, was a tad sad, rather. Was a tad sad, there we go. I was thinking different things when I wrote these. The lad was a tad sad that he could not do more to help his team. The lad was a tad sad that he could not do more to help his team. So there you go, the very first word. Try to remember that one. Tad, 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 tad. I'll keep repeating it throughout the lesson. So the next one is something you may hear, but be careful using it because it does involve a swear word, and that's the word, or the phrase rather, to take the psst. I'm not going to say it out loud because otherwise YouTube will tell me off for including a swear word. But if you take the psst, then you make fun of someone or you tease them. You can use a friendlier version of this phrase. You can say to take the Michael, or to take... Oh, I'm sure there's another version of this that I can't remember, but take the Michael is definitely one version. So take the ps is the bad one, and to take the Michael is the friendly version, the family-friendly version of slang. So here the example is, I would never take the ps out of you because I respect you too much. I would never tease you or make fun of you because I respect you too much. So there you go, tad and take the ps, or Michael rather. The next one you might hear from mostly natives who live in the north of England. You might hear them say ta-ra, ta-ra, and it basically means goodbye. I've even heard this in the Midlands, in Birmingham, they say ta-ra, ta-ra. So ta-ra is just a friendly local way of saying goodbye, but you will probably never see it written, except of course for in these lessons. Great, so I've got lots of you joining me now. It's lovely to see you. I hope you are all well. And I also have my Patron Skype room open, so patrons feel free to ask your questions and they will definitely be answered on the Skype chat. So we have three slang words under our belt. Let's move on. The next slang word is telly. Telly. Now, telly is a slang word short for television. So if I say I'm going to watch the telly, I'm going to watch the television. And the example sentence I've given here is very simply, Terry, which is a male name, Terry shouted ta-ra to the delivery man after he had dropped off a brand new telly. Terry shouted ta-ra to the delivery man after he had dropped off a brand new telly. There we go. Next one is tenner. The word tenner we use a lot here in the UK. It basically means 10 of our English pounds. A tenner. Can you help me find that tenner? I had a tenner in my pocket and it's fallen out of my pocket. I don't know where it is. Can you help me find it? Or, like the example sentence I've given here is, listen, mate, I'm absolutely skint. Any chance I can borrow a tenner until next week? Listen, mate, I'm absolutely skint. Any chance I can borrow a tenner until next week? Now, if you don't remember what skint means, then you need to look up the last slang video with slang words beginning with S. And that will help you to remember what that word means. Okay, so far, tad, take the pst, ta-ra, telly, tenner. Oh, and the next one is thick. If I call someone thick, I don't necessarily mean that they are wide. I mean that they are stupid or they are not very clever. So this is obviously not a very nice thing to say. So I would consider this an insult. If someone calls me stupid, I am insulted. Okay? So just be careful who you're calling thick. And the example sentence I've given here is, everyone called me thick at school. Turns out they were wrong. Mwahahaha. Lovely. Okay, lots of you commenting in the chat room. Hello. Yes, I did have a nice holiday. Thanks for asking. But I did have to come home early, which I was sad about. But I am back and I'm happy. I've got lots of great videos coming up for you soon, and very much enjoying being with you here today. And one of my patrons has said, hello, Anna. Unfortunately, I haven't got access to the wireless today, but I'm watching the video later on. Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm sorry you can't be with us live properly, but you'll see this later. Okay, so those of you who are interested in joining the Skype room will The Skype room will ensure that your questions are seen and answered and that your comments are responded to. The Skype room is for patrons. Patrons are people who support this channel, and if you're interested in becoming a patron, we definitely need your support. There are many other bonuses to being a patron, not just access to the Skype room. But if you are interested in adding support to the channel and joining our Skype group, then all you have to do is go to the Patreon page, and that is listed down in the description box below under the banner contribute. Then you'll see it down there. Join the patron team. So let's carry on. The next one on the list after thick is throw a spanner in the works. This is a great phrase and we use this a lot. It might be confusing to some of you if you've never heard it before. And to throw a spanner in the works means to ruin it, to destroy it, to stop it from working properly. And so here I've said, everything was going great. Then Jennifer came along and threw a spanner in the works. So imagine that I have set up a system. Maybe it's a workflow between three of us working. A workflow, and everything works fine. We've got it organized. You do that bit, I do this bit, you do that bit. We work well together. But then somebody comes along, a new manager, and tries to change everything, and it no longer works. The system doesn't work. Things get out of sync. People are waiting for work. I've got too much to do. It just doesn't work anymore because the manager threw a spanner into the works. So you can literally apply it to anything if someone's input ruins it. Okay? So that example again was, everything was going great and then Jennifer came along and threw a spanner in the works. So the next one here is to throw light on something. If you throw light onto something, you explain it. So if you are confused about something and you need someone to explain it to you, you need someone to throw light onto it. Okay? So for example here, we have no idea what is going on. Perhaps you could come into the meeting and throw some light on the situation for us? We have no idea what is going on. Perhaps you could come into the meeting and throw some light on the situation for us. Okay, so I hope those last two are clear because these are regularly used phrases. Throw a spanner in the works and throw some light onto something. Okay, so lots and lots of questions coming through. The way this works, because I'm trying to deliver these lessons nice and quickly so that people watching them when they're no longer live don't get bored, and because I've got 101 other things to do, including editing, planning, filming to make sure you have videos every single day, I can't answer all of your questions. So the best thing to do is to either become a patron and talk to me that way, or to drop a super chat so that you can highlight your comment and question. And as you're contributing to the channel, it's I answer you basically. Because you're making a contribution, what I give you back is my attention. So if you have a burning question, you're desperate to get it answered, then the best thing to do is either become a patron or support the channel with a super chat. All right, so let's carry on through. We have the phrase to throw up, which I hope none of you have done recently, but to throw up means to vomit. Bleh. To throw up. We use this a lot here in the UK, and the example sentence I've given is, most people don't like being sick, but I will avoid throwing up at all costs because I hate it so much. I'm sure some of you here also have that same feeling of being scared of being sick. I used to be scared that I would choke or something horrible would happen if I was sick, really sick. And so I used to have a fear of throwing up. I know throwing up is never nice, but I used to have a real fear about it. And that's what that sentence is about. So, throw up. And if you're not throwing up, then hopefully you are ticketyboo. Ticketyboo. This is probably one of my favourite slang phrases for today. Ticketyboo means great. So if I say I am ticketyboo, if I say I am ticketyboo, I mean I am great. I'm wonderful. Thank you for asking. Or I could say everything is ticketyboo. Don't you worry. I mean everything is great. There's nothing to worry about. So the example sentence I've given for ticketyboo is, I went to check on the kids and yeah, everything is tickety-boo. So Living Life just asked the question, can you say this food is like throw up? No, because to throw up is an action, so you can't describe food as an action because you're throwing up. But you can say that food is like vomit because vomit is a noun and a verb. Okay, so it is vomit, or it is sick, and you do vomit and you do throw up. But you throw up sick or you throw up vomit, you don't throw up. I hope that makes sense. So you could say, this food looks like someone has thrown it up, or this food looks like vomit. Hopefully your food is not like vomit. All right, so the next word that we're looking at here is the word tight. Tight. Now, the word tight can mean either that someone is not generous with their money or that you are close in a relationship. So if I say our relationship is tight, it means that we are very close. We are the best of friends, or we have a very special relationship as man and wife. But if I call you tight, if I say you are tight, then I mean you are not very generous with your money or perhaps with your things. If you don't share your stuff with me, then you're not very generous. Okay? So the example sentence I gave there was, Michelle and I were tight. Michelle and I were the best of friends. We were tight. We were close. Nothing could come between us. But then she started accusing me of being tight, and it threw a spanner in the works. Do you remember that one? It messed everything up. It ruined it. So Michelle and I were tight. Nothing could come between us. But then she started accusing me of being tight, and it threw a spanner in the works. Okay. So, one of you is asking about the word tickety-boo. Tickety-boo is genderless. It can be used for man or woman or things. Okay, the next one is a fun one. The next word is the word tipsy. Tipsy. If you are tipsy, then you are slightly drunk. A tad. A little bit. You're slightly drunk. Okay? So the example sentence I've given here is, I cannot believe I felt a tad tipsy after one glass of wine. I'm such a lightweight. I can't believe I felt a tad tipsy after one glass of wine. I'm such a lightweight. And remember, tad means little and tipsy means drunk. I can't believe I felt a tad tipsy, just a little bit drunk, a teeny tiny bit drunk after one glass of wine. I'm such a lightweight. Lightweight means you can't handle very much alcohol. And we've had a super chat through, so thank you very much, Olga. You haven't left a question, so if you do have a question, Olga, then do feel free to ask and I'll try and catch it. Thank you so much for your contribution. That's very, very kind. And also, as a way of saying thank you, then you are also entitled to a copy of these notes. So just drop me an email or a message somewhere and I will send you these notes so that you can have them for the future if they're helpful to you. Thank you very much. All right, after tipsy, we also have the word tit. Tit. Okay? Now, tit can mean a couple of things. Tit is a type of bird. You have a blue tit. Probably some other types of tit birds, but it's a very small bird, very pretty. And it's also an idiot. So if I call someone a tit, you are a tit, I'm saying you are an idiot. You are an idiot. Or also as a slang phrase, it can be referring to a woman's breast. Okay? So if I talk about a woman's breasts in a slang way, I could say her tits. But it's not very nice. So it's not a swear word and it's not really gross or anything, but I never use that word. And none of my friends use that word. So I don't know, just be very careful when using it or just avoid using it altogether. But that's what it means. So it can either be an idiot, a bird, or it could refer to a woman's breast. So it completely depends on the context. And here I've used both versions. I've said, Daniel made an inappropriate comment about some girl's tits and got sacked. What a tit. As in, what an idiot. Okay, so the next one, here's another rude one, although this is quite a soft slang word here, and this is todger. Todger. A todger is another word for a penis. So if a man is referring to his todger, he's talking about his penis. Now this is not a swear word, it's just a slang phrase, that's all. And the example sentence I've given is, the doctor seemed concerned about Frank's todger. The doctor seemed concerned about Frank's todger. Okay, the next one is the word toff. Toff. If someone calls you a toff, they're saying that you're someone who is wealthy and upper class, but this doesn't tell you enough. It's kind of a negative way of viewing the type of people who are wealthy or in upper classes. So it's calling them a negative thing. They're saying it's bad that they are upper class. Like maybe a bit snobby. Ugh, a toff. Okay? So if I call you a toff, it's not a nice thing to say. And the example sentence I've given here is, the toff scoffed at the waiters, which made the restaurant manager angry. The toff scoffed at the waiters, which made the restaurant manager angry. Okay? So, the next one is the word, or the phrase, toffee-nosed. If you call someone toffee-nosed, it's similar to toff. You're calling them a snob, basically, or somebody who thinks they're superior to those from lower classes or on lower wages. So perhaps if I say I'm the Prime Minister or I work in Parliament, I have a very high-powered job and a good wage, and then I meet somebody who works as a bartender, and they've got a lot less money than me, a lot less responsibility than me, and I think that I'm much more important than them, and I think I'm better than them as a person. Then you could say that I am toffee-nosed or a toff or a snob. Okay? So, those of you wondering about this abbreviation here, this is just an abbreviation for somebody. It's just to make it quicker to read. Somebody. Somebody. All right? So here I've given the example sentence for toffee-nosed as, there is no way I'm inviting the toffee-nosed tit. That should be that. There is no way I'm inviting that toffee-nosed tit to my party after the way she behaved. So here I'm calling someone an idiot, but an idiot that thinks they're better than everybody else. There is no way I'm inviting that toffee-nosed tit to my party after the way she behaved. Good. Okay, the next one we have is ton. This is another one that's used regularly. Ton can mean a lot. Obviously, ton is a weight. So you could say something weighs a ton. But if I say I have a ton of work to do, or I love you tons, it means a lot. And the example sentence I've given here is, we should share the workload as we have tons to get through. We should share the workload as we have tons to get through. Fabulous. Okay, so we've gotten through quite a lot already. My patrons, guys, you are very quiet. Do feel free to ask any questions or make comments if you need to. I'm here, keeping an eye on the Skype room for you. We have 143 people watching. If you can, take a moment right now to click on that share button. Then that would be really super handy and super helpful, because also what I want to say is we are getting so close to that huge milestone, which is 100,000 subscribers. Today we are on 83,000 subscribers, which is amazing. And if you are one of them, thank you so much for being here. If you're here and you're not yet surprised, then surprised? What am I saying? If you're here and you're not yet subscribed, it's been a long day. If you're here and you're not yet subscribed, then do press that subscribe button. It's absolutely free, and I'm working every single day to make sure you have lots of varied, interesting, and hopefully helpful lessons to improve your English. And I've got loads more to come, so don't miss out. Click the subscribe button and do me a huge favour. I really want to get to 100,000 subscribers before the end of this month. It's going to be a really, really hard thing to do, but with your help, I definitely can get there. All I need you to do is share. Just share away, and when we get to 100,000, it will all be down to you. This community is your community, and I need you to help me to grow it. The bigger it gets, the more I can do for you. I'm not going to be like other YouTubers who, when they get big, they stop making videos and they just do their own thing. I'm not going to be that person. I'm going to keep bringing you loads and loads of stuff, and better and better every day. So help me to help you. Click share. All right, there's my big speech over. Let's carry on with the lesson. So, ton. The next word is the word tool. Now, a tool is normally something you use to achieve something, a hammer or a spanner or a screwdriver. These are all tools. You use them to achieve something, to do work with. However, if I call someone a tool, I'm calling them an idiot. Also, the word tool can be a way of referring to a penis. So a man might talk about his tool, he's talking about his penis. Just like Todger. Okay, so the example sentence I've given here is, yesterday, Tony the tool got his tool caught in his fly. It was not a pretty sight. So Tony the tool, the idiot, got his tool, his penis, caught in his fly. A fly is your zipper on your trousers. Ouch, is what I say. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. It was not a pretty sight. I do hope that none of you have ever got your todger or your tool caught in your fly. Not very pleasant, I can imagine. All right, so some of you asking why I can't say certain words. The reason is because YouTube are changing the rules on how they help videos to be seen, and videos that include swear words or even words that aren't swearing, that are maybe not so family friendly, like perhaps words I've already used, like penis maybe, I don't know. YouTube are kind of not punishing us for using those words, but they're not going to help us with those videos. And so we're just having to be very, very careful with the words that we use. And that is why I will show them with stars instead of full letters, and that is why I will not say swear words if I can help it. Okay? If you are interested in swear words, I do have a swear words video where you can go and check out the meanings of those. And the next word on the list is the word tosh. I like this word. Tosh. Absolute tosh. If you're saying something is tosh, you're basically saying it's nonsense. It's not true. It's rubbish. It's absolute nonsense. It's tosh. Okay? So I put here, I wouldn't pay much attention to what Jade says if I were you. It's mostly utter tosh. I wouldn't pay much attention to what Jade says if I were you. It's mostly utter tosh. So I'm saying it's utter nonsense. Okay? So that is one I do hear a lot, and I think it's a really fun word to say. It's tosh. It's tosh. Okay, so the next one is the word tosser. Tosser is not a pleasant word, and it means idiot. So avoid calling somebody a tosser if you can help it. And if someone calls you this, they are being disrespectful to you. Okay, so the example I've given here is the lads whizzed by in their Fiesta. A Fiesta is a type of car by Ford. The lads whizzed by in their Fiesta shouting, "Tosser!" and hurling beer cans out of the window. All right, nice and easy. And the next one is the word totally. You should definitely remember this one. Totally means really. Really, really, really. Like very. And the example I've given here is, you don't need to apologise about leaving this job. I would be totally stoked if I were you. Plus, you totally deserve it. You really deserve it. The word stoked means basically excited. I'm excited about it. Or I would be excited about it if I was you. Okay? The next one we have here is trash. Trash. Now, if I say I'm going to trash something, it means absolutely destroy it or ruin it or make a mess of it. If something is trashed, it's destroyed or ruined. Let's put an ED on there so it makes sense. Okay. We have, I left the kids alone for 5 minutes and the house was completely trashed. I left the kids alone for 5 minutes and the house was completely trashed. Oh, gosh. You know what kids are like. They can make an awful lot of mess in a very short space of time. Okay, so the next one is the word troll. Something that I've come across quite a lot since I've been doing YouTube. And a troll is basically someone who writes unpleasant and provocative messages online, on videos, on pictures, on people's blogs and websites, in order to get attention. So they write these messages publicly so that they can start a conversation, an argument, so they can upset the people that they're commenting to. And trolls are just very unpleasant people, and they do it in order to get attention. And there are trolls everywhere, and I even blocked one this morning. And the example sentence I've given here is, trolls are blocked on my channel. Yes, some people allow the trolls to leave their comments up, but I do not. I delete them and ban them. Okay, the next one is nice and easy. It's the word turd. What a great word, turd. And a turd refers to a poo, to excrement, a lump of excrement, a poo, a turd. Now, you might hear us say dog turd. Obviously, we're talking about dog poo. So, yeah. But you could call someone a turd, which is also not very nice. To call someone a turd, you're calling them a poo. And the example I've given here is, who left a turd floating in the loo? Loo is a word, a slang word meaning toilet. Who left a turd floating in the loo? It is totally disgusting. Yuck, yuck, yuck. Flush that toilet. Okay, we're getting to the end now. We only have a couple more to go. So the next word is the word twerp. Twerp. I like this word. It feels good in the mouth. But a twerp refers to a silly and immature person. You're such a twerp. You're a silly, immature person. Twerp. And the example sentence I've given here is, don't stick your tongue in the butter, you twerp. Other people have to use that. Don't stick your tongue in the butter, you twerp. Other people have to use that. Ugh, goodness me. Then we have a similar word, which is the word twit. Twit, and that basically means a stupid person, not dissimilar to twerp. So twerp and twit. And both of these are quite light words. They're offensive, but not seriously offensive. Like, I would imagine, like, my mum or my dad have both called me a twerp or a twit. So, the example here is, I am such a twit. I forgot, Anna, sort it out. I forgot to share out the biscuits I made. I am such a twit. I forgot to share out the biscuits I made. Okay, good. Just be careful, guys, that if this letter was changed to an A, that would become a bad swear word. So, like this, it's fine, twit. But with an A, that's a really negative, really bad swear word. Okay? So be careful with that. Remember the vowel. And the very last word is the word twee. If something is twee, then you're saying it's overly dainty, delicate, or cute. And normally you refer to a person as behaving twee or to an item of clothing perhaps looking twee. So it looks cute, but a bit too much, a bit too cute, not right. And so I might say to you, I love your new shirt, but if I'm being honest, it is a tad twee. It is a tad twee. It's a little bit cute for you. It's a bit cutesy, isn't it? Of course. I mean, we've left off quite an important word of late, haven't we? Which is the word twerk. A twerk is a dance. A dance of the bottom, shall we call it? A dance of the bottom. I'm sure you've all seen examples of twerking. Great. Okay, guys, so just to recap, we had tad, take the ps, ta-ra, telly, tenor, thick, throw a spanner in the works, throw light on a situation, to throw up, ticketyboo, tight, tipsy, tit, todger, toff, toffee-nosed, a ton, a tool, tosh, tosser, totally, trashed, troll, turd, twerp, twit, twee, and twerk. Wow, what a great lesson. Good. So many words there that you will find helpful. Whether you decide to use them or not, knowing about these words are going to help you because natives use them. And you don't want to get caught in an embarrassing situation where a native uses slang, which we do all the time, and you misinterpret their meaning or you have no idea what they mean and it breaks down that communication. So it's really good to have a knowledge of the words that we use commonly, and then you can decide whether you use them yourself, but understanding is paramount. Now, we have come to the end of the lesson. I am here for a few more minutes to answer your questions. If you aren't already subscribed, then please do press that subscribe. Help me get to 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you can share, then that would mean the world to me. That would it would mean a ton. It would mean a ton to me. It would mean a lot. Okay? So if you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Don't forget that I am on Instagram, and if you're looking to improve your pronunciation, Instagram is free. My account I'm trying to upload to every day. So go and join me on Instagram. The link is down in the description box below. Down there you'll also find links to my elocution course or my pronunciation course, so you can learn how to speak just like me if you want to speak English like I do. And there's also a link to a free audiobook trial, which I highly recommend. It's something that I use also, just listening to audiobooks being read by some fantastic narrators. It's really helpful for learning English on the go, and also for listening to some incredible literature. Okay, so what questions have we got? What is the beautiful picture of behind you? The picture behind me is just the British flag, of course. And it says, keep calm and carry on. Keep calm and carry on. Just means don't worry, keep going, which is what we all should do when learning English. Unless you mean this one. This one is a famous picture by an artist called Banksy, and she's just letting go of a love heart-shaped balloon. The question is she setting her love free, or is she upset because she's lost her love? That's the question. Okay, the next question is, Anna, what's the difference in pronunciation between matter and matters? Just the Z on the end. Matter, matters. Matter, matters. There you go. Okay, quick question. Hi, Anna. Have you made a lesson about business correspondence? I mean, writing emails. Yes, Anna, I have. I did a lesson a few months ago about writing business emails. You just have to do a little search on my channel and you'll find that quite easily, hopefully. What does tad mean? Tad means a little. If you missed anything, just go back, scroll back on the lesson and check it out. Is twerp a negative word? It's a negative word in the same way that idiot is a negative word. If you call someone an idiot, it's not a positive thing, but I might call somebody I love and care about an idiot. There are words that are harsher that I would never use on my loved ones, but some words, when they're just describing someone being a bit stupid, you would use. And twerp is quite a soft negative word. What does technically mean? Technically means technically. How do I explain technically? How it works technically? I don't know how to explain that. You'll have to hit the dictionary for that one, I'm afraid. Technically for me is such a basic word, but I don't know how to explain it. Let's see what the dictionary says. I'll do it for you here now. So technically is according to facts or exact meaning of something. So it's like strictly, or with reference to the technique displayed. But it's factually. It means, how it actually works technically, based in fact. It's a hard one to explain. Goodness me. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to stay on the chat room and chat to you for a few more minutes. Oh, but I do have to go because I've got a lesson starting in 4 minutes. I didn't realise the time. Okay. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to check out those links in the description box below. I will see you possibly on Thursday. If not, it might be at the weekend or next week. But check me out on Facebook and Instagram to know about the next lesson. Otherwise, lots of love from London. Thanks for joining me.